ranking the top 5 knockouts from fighters that are participating on the main card of UFC 313. So basically how it works is I look at the main card, take every single fighter fighting on the main card, and then I decide which of their knockout victories are the best. They only get one. Otherwise, this list will consist of Gaethje, Pereira, and Ankalaev. So they only get one. And then looking at every knockout, basically rank them, have them play out against one another, and to see whose is the best. Now, there's no criteria. It's basically just my opinion. So, at number 5, Magomed Ankalaev versus Gaethje Lungiambula, November 9, 2019. Now, honorable mention to Magomed Ankalaev, his knockout win over Johnny Walker, his knockout win over Ian Cutelaba. A reoccurring theme with both of those knockouts coming in a way of a rematch. Whenever you fight Ankalaev, make sure you only do it once. Because when they phone you to schedule the rematch, probably guarantee that devastation is heading your way. Now, with regards to his knockout win over Gaethje Lungiambula, Magomed Ankalaev was looking to improve on his run of form after losing in his UFC debut in devastating fashion, tapping in literally the last second of the fight, in a fight that he would have went on to win. Ended up tapping because he got stuck in an arm triangle. And to this day, the only loss of Magomed Ankalaev's career. Then went on a 2-fight winning streak, got scheduled to fight Gaethje Lungiambula on November 9, 2019, ended up throwing a front kick down the center line, whipping Gaethje's head back. And as Gaethje's head came back forward, looking to recover, landed a devastating right to finish the fight. Just quickly listen to what this sounded like. Absolutely devastating. Now, number 4 on the list, Rafael Fiziev versus Renato Moicano. No honorable mentions for Fiziev because I truly believe that this is his best knockout win. Now, similar circumstances with Fiziev and Magomed Ankalaev, seeing that Fiziev also lost in his UFC debut, then bounced back, went on a 2-fight winning streak, and was scheduled to fight Renato Moicano December 12, 2020. Was looking to improve on his run of form. Now, if ever you had to Google what a 3-piece and a soda looks like, it would probably show you this clip. Started with a left hook to the body, went to a right hook to the head, and then ended with the left hook, catching Renato flush, stunning him, going to the ground, and then just finishing it off with the right hand. Absolutely brutal scenes by Rafael Fiziev, which is why he gets the number 4 spot on this list due to that combo. It is masterful. Then number 3 on the list, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Now, honorable mentions for Alex Pereira would basically be his entire UFC career, all of his wins. Now, he has had more flush, better knockout victories over the likes of Michelitis, even when he fought Yuri the second time when he knocked out Sean Strickland. All of those ones are definitely cleaner than the Jamal one. The reason why is due to the whole build-up of it. So if you've been living under a rock, if you don't know the story, Alex Pereira fought Izzy at middleweight, beat Izzy, became the middleweight champion, then in a rematch got knocked out in devastating fashion against Izzy, decided to move up in weight, moved to light heavyweight, fought Jan Blachowicz in what felt like a number 1 contender's bout, ended up beating Jan, then went on to fight Yuri Prohashka for the light heavyweight championship of the UFC, won via knockout, and in his very first title defense fought Jamal Hill on April 13, 2024. Now, once again, in the build-up to this fight, there was some antics from Jamal Hill saying that he was going to knock out Alex Pereira. He had the weird thing where he had that Stonehenge Poatan face on a chain at the weigh-ins. Even when Alex walked out to fight Jamal Hill, in his walkout, usually when he does the arrow shooting, Jamal caught the hypothetical arrow and broke it. Jamal made it somewhat personal. And so did Alex Pereira, seeing that he caught Jamal Hill with his coveted left hook, had Jamal's eyes in the back of his head as he was falling down. And just to add insult to injury, landed a few shots on the ground as well. And then to put the cherry on top, decided to do an emote on top of Jamal Hill's corpse, granting us this meme. That is why Alex Pereira's knockout over Jamal Hill, according to myself, is his best knockout win. And that is why it is at number 3 on this list. At number 2, Justin Gaethje versus James Vick. Now once again, honorable mentions for Justin Gaethje could basically include all of his victories inside of the UFC, where he has had an incredible knockout win over Dustin Poirier, he has had an incredible knockout win over Edson Barbosa. The reason why this is number 1 is due to the fact of what happened in the aftermath of the knockout. Now the knockout itself is devastating, and I'll get to it in a second. So Justin Gaethje made his debut inside of the UFC, fought Michael Johnson, ended up beating Michael Johnson via knockout. Already a very tough opponent to fight on your debut inside of the UFC. Went on to beat Michael Johnson, then fought Eddie Alvarez in his second fight, lost. A tough opponent to fight in your second fight inside the UFC, lost. To make it tougher, for Dustin Poirier in his third fight inside the UFC, lost again. But then on August 25th, 2018, Justin Gaethje fought Vick and ended up landing a devastating overhand right, knocking Vick out clean, added a left, just for goodness sake, and then went on to celebrate with his corner, with friends, family. Brian Ortega was there taking a video, taking it all in. After celebrating, Gaethje headed over to James Vick's corner, where they had to drag James Vick to a chair, and obviously wanted to see whether he is okay, wanted to congratulate him, thank him, all of that. And this was probably a minute after knocking Vick out. And James Vick tried to take Justin Gaethje down because he still thought they were in a fight. It is devastating. That is probably the reason why we don't see these guys, when they get knocked out, see them on the floor. It is a devastating sight, and basically just serves as a testament to how much power Justin Gaethje possesses. And due to the aftermath of that fight alone, I think it is warranted as being his best knockout and being number 2 on this list. Now you might think, well, what tops that? Number 1 on this list, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Roosevelt Roberts. Now he's not number 1 on this list due to the fact that I just like saying his name and surname. His knockout win over Roosevelt Roberts was beautiful and devastating at the same time. So Ignacio Bahamondes fought on Dana White's Contender Series, ended up winning on Dana White's Contender Series, then got signed to the UFC. Fought John Makdessi in his UFC debut, ended up losing by a split decision, a close fight. Then wanting to get back to winning ways, wanting to make amends for his loss in his debut, fought Roosevelt Roberts on August 21st, 2021. And in a fight that was somewhat close, seeing that Ignacio dominated with regards to total strikes, but the damage on his face was telling. He ended up in the last seconds of the fight, he ended up knocking out Roosevelt Roberts with a spinning head kick, and he knocked him out clean. If they took a picture of Roosevelt Roberts as he was lying there, put him in a bed, you would think the guy is just asleep. He got sung a lullaby, got sent to Mars, sent to the stratosphere to go talk to Ben Askren, see if he's doing okay. It was as clean as a spinning head kick could possibly get. That is why it is number 1 on this list. Now let me know in the comment section, do you think that the rankings are valid? Do you think that some honorable mentions should be at number 1? Let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Enjoy UFC 313.